Episode 3, Salmon Max, The Mob, the Mole, and the Meatball. And this is the Bay Area sound commentary, audio commentary. I'm Jared Emerson Johnson. I did the music, sound, and voice directing.
And Julian Kwasniewski, and I did voice directing and sound, although not as much sound on this one.
Randy Tudor.
Randy Tudor, the unsung hero.
He is so unsung, except by me. Randy! He has saved the audio in the 11th hour more times than I can count. The Mole, the Mob, and the Meatball. This is one of my favorite fun little cutscene tunes. The 5 seconds of circus music got to do.
I got it. Ow. Hello.
All these scenes are always fun to score for sound because there's always a lot of surprising impacts and things.
Yes, but he said to stop carving them into the suspects. He can't read them without his bifocals.
What if I just write bigger?
Forget that, Max. We're after the most infamous organized crime outfit in the city, the Troy Mafia.
The cutthroat killers with no respect for human life.
I had a lot of fun, especially with the in-game music for this particular episode, because the way that the Mafia was characterized and the way that the casino and everything looked, it really, to me, had a very specific aesthetic that I tried to reflect in the music, and it's all in that sort of earlier, more 30s and 40s style kind of American jazz standard, thing that we all associate with the Mafia genre.
Our job is to make contact with the mole and see if he needs help.
Is he a large star-shaped mole?
And then, of course, the backroom music is an homage to Nino Rota's score to The Godfather, which is one of the all-time great scores, and gave me an excuse to bust out my mandolin and play it a little bit, which was fun. I hadn't done that for a project since the Bone games, so.
Sounds great. Let's do this.
It sure beats working.
It sure does.
Welcome to Teddy Bear.
Welcome.
These
Bear heads. So we're gonna have to talk a little bit about the bear heads.
Yeah.
Our first thought, of course, when we saw the design of the bear heads was, well, and this will be great. We'll have this awesome processing on them to make it sound like they're deep, deep within the heads, and it will just be so cool. And it'll be that sound that you would have if someone was
like Steve asked for.
And so exactly. It was on the original document that Steve made to describe them. Said and process the voices.
Sorry, Dave. Here it comes.
And so here it comes, Dave. So we presented this idea to Dave Grossman and Brendan, and Dave just completely shot it down, just completely.
Unequivocally.
And we
Nope.
and we kind of with our tail between our legs. We're like, well, okay, we'll do it. And then we thought about it, and we're like, we gotta just do it. We gotta do it. We gotta hold our audio torch and we'll show it to him, and he'll just be totally blown away and impressed, and he'll love it, and then it'll be in there and it'll be awesome. And we did it, and we showed it to him, and we actually did I think 6 different versions of it of different intensity.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
He hated it all, and so we kind of just bit the bullet and said, well,
we had
okay,
a contract out on him, but then we decided to cancel it just because he's a good guy.
And we'll just do whatever you want.
But
then the game shipped, and in some of the reviews, and kind of all over the place, but one was like, it was great, but those bear heads didn't have any processing.
Yeah, it should have.
It just was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like they were right there.
And so we've been rubbing it in his face.
So let the record be shown that
shamelessly ever since then. We love Dave.
But I went ahead and processed him for the trailer.
How'd you get him then?
Yeah.
So that's the truth is out. Feels good to have that off my chest.
He's just that good.
In the end, of course, it doesn't actually matter, and it's fine. But it's something we very, very much like to tease Dave about, because
it's one of the funny moments of game design.
Audio guys against the non-audio guy.
Wow.
The audio guys never win in those
No, we never win, by the
Never.
way. Yeah. We do the work, and we never win.
We never win.
And our credit is after the caterer, but that's we signed up for that. So, although the music gets a nice front-end credit.
So that dealer there that's my Salmon Max voice acting debut, and for this I voice a couple of the other characters too, which is very fun, and
all 10
I've always liked acting, so.
Yeah, what we would do is when the script, we'd be all done with the sessions, and then there'd be, a handful of characters where it's like 4 lines and 8 lines, and actually some of the dealer had a lot more.
Dealer had a fair amount, but
so yeah, we took the opportunity wherever possible, just because it's got to get done, and it's fun.
And it's fun, and we can do it. Want to play cards? Leonard Steak Charmer. For fans of the Telltale Texas Hold'em game, they'll recognize him.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go see if we can play Whack-the-Rats 10
And Whack-the-Rats, of course, a fabulous throwback to Hit the Road with the Whack-the-Rat game in the carnival there. And Joey came and just did such a hilarious job with all these different little accents, and not just doing the accents, but doing the accents in the Bosco voice and characterization is very funny, and just how horrible he is at doing the French accent. I mean, Joey can do it fine, but Bosco trying to do French is a painful experience.
And the way we had the script sorted, it was, every other line was a different accent, so we had to do an 11th hour resort, and things were out of chronological order, but he was able to stay in the zone.
It all worked out. And the bug, is the second experience or second appearance of Brendan Ferguson.
And he's perfect.
He is so perfect as this.
We're always trying to get him on
crazy
mic
bug.
more, and he just doesn't want to do it, but he's great.
Brendan is a very talented guy, and he's actually always voice acting. When you talk to him, he's always doing voices and stuff.
Yeah,
and
his line reads are great.
It's very funny.
Say it like this.
And even when you're not in the voice booth or in the studio with him, he'll just having a conversation. He's always doing voices and having fun, and you can really he really hears it in his head when he's rating. You can tell, and it's
Yes, sir.
I am a bug.
It adds so much. I am a bug. And this is the just little bug theme, just a little. Snare,
And Brendan,
snare drum riff.
he was in favor of the processing on the heads, as I recall.
Brendan was, yes, very
Hi, Dave.
interesting. Interesting choice. Brandon Ferguson.
Gambling addiction. We won.
Yeah, we won, but there's no
Chuckles
prize.
there coming out of the thing.
Gotta hand it to Teddy Bear.
That is the Vegas trip.
Puts the bandit in
Yeah.
one-armed bandit.
Has a very awesome mohawk, or at least did when he was recording this.
Gardening section, so it's true. He is Toy Mafia.
I hope we don't lose Bosco's friendship over this.
It's amazing that they haven't lost Bosco's friendship yet after all the stuff that Sam and Max have done to him. I assume it's only because they keep paying him so much cash every month or so as the episodes come along. I haven't actually added up the total dollar amount of what Sam and Max have paid him over the course of the season, but it's got to be at least several $billion.
Surrender.
Can't quite remember. It's a lot. It definitely keeps going up.
I told you this would happen.
Those teddy bears
He would deliver, and he
are so
delivered.
scary looking.
I can't believe
Props
that
to
guy.
Don't
Dave
worry,
Bogan
Bosco. We'll help you
and
purchase
Steve
this
Purcell,
Mafia
who I know they
contract
both
just as
collaborated
soon as
on the
solve
look
this
of
case
those
we're so
bears.
incredibly
It's just
busy with.
Oh yeah, you're real.
very scary.
You done nothing but loiter around my store all day.
What can we say? We love to loiter.
Who doesn't? I love this. This is the that sort of Nino Rota
Nice and messy.
style music here.
That should send a clear
Whenever
message to anyone.
whenever anything mafia-esque is happening, it's got that. You got some accordion, you got some mandolin,
What happened to the
maybe a
picture?
little violin in
With
there.
all due respect, Don, who cares? Now that she's whacked, we don't need to keep watching her, do we?
I suppose so. Give me a pretzel, Chuckles.
I love the teddy bear voice. There was only I think 6 lines of his actual voice, but it was just so perfect. It was similar enough in spirit to Marlon Brando, but
Yeah, but not a
very
rip-off.
very unique and not a ripoff at all. And
Good idea, Chuck.
I was sad that there wasn't more for him, but
Which could be important
those
to
6
our
lines.
health.
And we've learned that
Incredible.
webcams go great with ketchup.
Another fun fact to add to the crime-fighting arsenal.
And Sybil's okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Sam, are we
You'd think
mafiosi
though
yet?
that shooting a mug directly in front of someone, there would at least be some like ceramic fragments in their chest or something. But I guess she's okay.
Show me the sandwich.
And this little quick
I
walking
love
bass
that.
thing, yeah, this is some Jimmy music, and it's got a little homage to the Whack-a-Rat music from Hit the Road in there. The bam 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 ba da la ba bam. That's I tried to whenever I could, and only in places where it really made sense and fit. But I tried to throw a few little tidbits of that great score in there because it was so iconic, and Clint and Pete and Mike did such a such a good job defining Sam and Max's musical sound for the first time, and obviously I was doing a new thing here, and Telltale was taking it in a bit of a new direction, but anywhere that I could, I tried to sneak in some of those little recognizable motifs just to sort of glue it all together.
Don't you talk about my mom.
Uh-oh.
My mom was a saint.
That's one of the cheaper cutscene scoring things I did. A little organ that comes in there for 2 seconds. But what can you do? She is a saint, after all.
Yeah.
Or is laughably bad grammar?
Neither. I say we hit this cheating slime receptacle where it hurts the most. Right in the mother.
You mean?
That's right, Max.
I liked this dialogue puzzle. I thought it was a fun and ingenious sort of piece of game design to have them have to complete the complete the jokes.
Curdled goat's milk on a warm summer day.
This is what makes adventure games
That's funny.
so unique.
I remember all the punchlines, but
I know it's refreshing to see adventure games. It's just
It seems like it's been a while.
it has been.
It has. And they're definitely coming back. It seems like a lot of people are coming back home.
Just leave my mom alone. Of course, Leonard. We would never do anything to dishonor your dead mother.
He gets so red. It's so creepy.
I know, it's great.
It's just like, oh my god. Is he okay?
The one arm so no one could win it.
Which brings us to the next question. Where's the arm?
I got it right here.
Thanks, jerkbag.
How did you not notice that before?
I was too busy taking his cap gun to notice that extra arm.
We'd best get back to the casino and win back that sandwich.
Episode 3
Sucker.
had about, I would say, at least 2 times as many cutscenes as
Jimmy?
1 and 2 did.
Anybody?
Just
Yeah,
just
the A and
happened
the
that
B
way.
cutscenes,
The
piled up.
A and B priority cutscenes, they really piled up for this one, and
subservience.
it was fun to
Welcome you into the
have a
ranks
chance
of
to
the Orso Nostra.
go so crazy with the music. It's a lot of music. If you add it all up over the course of the whole season,
Picnic baskets.
looking at it as one sort of master game divided into 6 chunks, the amount of music in game and cutscene is, it's got, I mean,
Wasn't it 180 minutes?
it's over 3 hours. Yeah, it's probably closer to 200. Which, I mean, if you look at your average 40-hour game, console game, or I mean, most games aren't even that long. Honestly, it's more, most of them tend to be more around 20, and
Does the carpet match the drapes?
it's pretty standard to have 70 to 90 minutes of music, I would say, cutscene and in-game together. And a lot of the time for console games, the cutscene music will be edited from the in-game loops or somewhere like that. So the actual quantity of music is incredible, and I'm pleased to announce now. I suppose I can do it on this commentary, even though it's
you can.
not announced yet, but it will be by the time this comes out. There's going to be a very large double disc soundtrack that's coming out, and I'm very happy that worked out. And if you enjoy the music, it's going to be a really cool thing, because all the tunes, cutscene and in-game stuff are going to be included. Well, not all of them, but the best of the cutscenes and all of the in-game stuff will be included and all remastered for the soundtrack, and
With alternate endings and things
yeah, it's all
presented musically.
it's all
so.
good. And all those in-game loops. One of the things that I loved about Sam & Max and about Telltale is that because it's a PC title, and because of the way their tool handles it, there's no arbitrary limitation or streaming limitation for the music, so it can handle loops that are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes long. So some of these pieces of music are really long, and it's something that you'd actually want to pop in the CD player. I would hope. I would want to pop it in
For
the
your
CD player
next
and
dinner
listen,
party.
and listen because
It's
because
jazz.
it's not just 30-second loops.
Exactly.
I had a chance to actually write.
The music was definitely a highlight of the
Larger.
project. It's just and the live sessions, bringing in live players, and
Yeah, those guys that we've been bringing in, Jordan Wardlaw and Mike Whitwell and Jesse Wickman and Dale Guttridge on the first episode, they just brought so much to these scores, and as the project went along, and getting to know them better and knowing their styles, and it really became a big collaboration.
also just the fact that these episodes were pretty furious crunch modes for us, and
About as furious as it gets.
yeah, and you know, people have likened it to producing a TV show, which neither of us have done, but it just seems like at any one time there was 17 things to do, and just the fact that the music got composed in the first place, let alone arranged so well and recorded and mixed so well, really is testament, to what you did, Jared, for sure. And but just the project that we were allowed to provide such a high quality audio soundtrack for essentially, a downloadable game, which is something that in the past, has audio quality has not been a huge drawing point, and also the level of music production and voice production, is basically unheard of. So it was really exciting for us.
Right. Well.
Yeah, I've never had a project that was as free and unlimited in the music spec as this is. It just there was only one track ever that actually ended up being too long for the engine, and everything else it was always just accepted out of hand, even if it was a 5-minute loop, which I don't know any other games that are able to work that way. And Telltale really, I think, set the bar in a fun new way that it certainly works in the game's favor, but just being able to write complete pieces that have a beginning, middle, and end, and getting them in there for the background is really nice to not be restricted and limited to 90 seconds or 30 seconds. And this is my all this factory theme stuff.
I'll figure out some way to bring Teddy Bear and his
It's a lot of fun to write.
I can't hear you. I'm dead.
You can't hear you. And of course, the Max death scene is one of my favorite little bits of cutscene music. It's just so silly and over the top and weirdly serious musically. Max is freaking out. All this Raymond Scott style.
Yeah, it really works with the scene.
And the background, I just love what Dave Bogan and the other artists were able to do to just show that whole back room and all that.
Yep.
I mean, if you look and if you pause it and look, there's there's a huge factory back there doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
And it's all things are going on back there.
It really
They have to be mutually exclusive.
it was sort of I think the biggest set in a way, aside from maybe the street up to this point in the season. It was very cool to see something so big, and that warning sound and this huge explosion and that motion blur, very nice. Ouch.
Body
That
falls,
is just so
car
ridiculous.
falls.
Car fall. Yeah.
That's what
Those
I
are the
call
sound
breaking
effects
the
you
bank.
live for. Car falling from sky.
You're really broken up about that buffet,
We need more
aren't
shocks.
you, Max?
It was the only innocent in this whole affair, Sam. I mean, apart from the bystanders and their pets.
Buck up, little pal. Maybe the commissioner will take us out for a pungent meal at Squirrel Garden when we tell him
Squirrel
how we cracked
Garden.
the case.
Sam and Max work up an appetite after these cases. They always seem to be hungry.
Yeah.
Jellied lemurs with extra salt.
For some reason, they're always going for that. And those little bear falls. Those are sound effects that I'm proud of. They've got the little squeaky thing in there. Uh-oh, Chuckles.
Uh-oh.
This is Secret Agent Chuckles. The factory's been destroyed.
And I no longer need voice processing because I'm not wearing the bear head.
Not anymore. Plan B. But what could that be?
Find out.
In episode 4.